In part 2 of the Titanium Swamp investigation, we will interview 2 eyewitnesses, retrieve the drop boxes, document more markers found, collect suspected Bigfoot hair samples, and listen to a couple of clips of audio that was captured and examine them using the waveform and spectrogram. Charles, you want to tell us about your latest Bigfoot activity that you've had around here?
The latest would have
What
been
was the
7
shape
years
of the
ago.
head?
Sort of dome, went up. Massive head.
Did you see a neck?
It was just like it was almost back and then the head. Kind of like a hump at this point, and it was just head.
Could you tell if it was a male or female?
No. I don't know nothing about all that.
Yeah, you didn't see no breast or
No.
anything like that. How long were the arms? Could you see its arms?
Arms probably went down to about its knee. With the hands and all. So down, you know, probably about, maybe right around in there. Just a little bit below the knee, the tips.
Could you see the palm of the hands?
All I was seeing was the hands, and they was massive.
What could you tell what color the skin was?
No, it was too shaggy.
Was you able to see his back
Yeah.
whenever he left?
No doubt.
How much hair was on the back? Was there a lot of hair? And
A lot of shaggy hair. Long,
And it long, and it was dark.
dark color, like it was wet. Maybe a dark brown, maybe
Could you smell an odor?
a musky smell. I smelt that around the house, you know, about certain times of year. Closer to the winter, around this area down here, when I got my window up, you know, you can smell a musky smell, or you coming home, gonna go in the house, you smell a musky smell for a couple hours or so, and come back out and it's gone. Strong musky smell.
Have you got any neighbors that has witnessed anything?
I got neighbors that will talk but don't talk.
Right.
They don't want to talk.
Yeah, it's easy to be ridiculed, and you don't want that.
That's it.
Are there any horse farms around here? Or?
See, like my son was talking about, I had horses here, but I couldn't keep them in. Always by the road that bust through the fence.
Uh-huh.
I'd move my fence like 8, 9 foot up. I'd always raise it another string. I finally got up to about 8 foot tall, maybe thinking, they won't go through it, but they'd keep running through it at nighttime. This would happen between 9 and 12 o'clock at night.
Did you ever find the horse's mane braided or anything?
No.
Okay.
Now, I did find some hair one time. I lost. I was gonna hand it over to somebody, have them test it. It was in a fence over on the back side where I was hunting. It was mangled up into that fence, and it was long, about that long. And it was kind of stringy, reddish brown.
Uh-huh.
I had wadded it up and put it in a cellophane with cigarette. And I was going to keep it and have it analyzed, but back 2 or 3 years ago, and went on a move, I lost it.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to find here lately. About 2 months ago, I had a bull in the pen there, and about dusk dark, it went through the fence, went towards the bottom, tracked it. I'm pretty good at tracking because I've tracked deers ever since I was 9 years old. I was tracking his tracks and went down probably about 40, 50 feet from the swamp. You couldn't tell if his tracks went right or left, just like they just dead ended.
Yeah.
I've been looking for that bull since then and hadn't found an ore track since. And that's about a 450 to 500 pound bull. Just come up vanished, not come out in the road anywhere, the fields or anything.
Did you see any large prints around?
Now the roadways over here, as I was telling y'all back a couple weeks ago, there was a girl that was stationed there. Me and her ex was walking this, and it was like 1 footprint. I mean, solid, right middle, and it was after rain. Didn't think about cast or nothing because I don't know anything about casting. And it was just as perfect, and it was a 3-toe.
Yeah.
About center of one of the roads. I think it was a second road over, where all the trees are bent over and broke, snapped. And we was walking down through there, and I mean, it was right before a mud puddle in the center of the road. I mean, it was just perfect. Mud had, pushed up where it had sunk in. That was about a 9.5 to 10 inch footprint there. 3-toe. But the ones I've been seeing lately on the other farm over here, they're 3-toe and 4-toe. And 3 coon dogs come up missing over the past 7 years. My best dogs, 3 of them went in the swamp back here one night, and they just quit barking all at once. All 3 of them just quit barking all at once and never seen them again. Still got the paperwork on that. But figured they'd come out one day, and they ain't came out yet either. That's been a while.
Well, we really appreciate you letting us come out here and
No problem.
set up drop boxes, and hopefully we'll be able to capture something off those drop boxes. So we really appreciate you letting us come out, Charles.
But it seems like, most of the activity was right there at the beginning of the deer season.
Uh-huh.
That's when I was out, in the woods, and that's when I was actually seeing more of the evidence. And of course, that was about like 7 years ago.
Right.
But it's during deer season. I don't know if they traveling before then or after then or what, but it was about deer season. The deer season had just opened up, and I was in the woods.
Okay. Well, we're going to head out and pick up the recorders, and we'll start analyzing them. So thank you a lot, Charles.
Sounds good.
We appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime y'all want to come back, try it again.
Okay, we're here with Austin, and Austin is Charles's son, and he had an encounter. How old were you?
About 8 years old.
8 years old. And where did it happen?
It was right over here in front of a car that we had parked in the driveway at the time.
Can can you just tell the story of what you were doing and what you saw?
Well, I was staying at a neighbor's house, and one day, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I was headed over here to get my bike, ride it around. Was walking down the driveway back when we had a horse and we had a fence. And by the time I got by the horse, about 500 feet down the driveway, I look up, I see this big brown hairy object just standing on two feet, long arms. It was kind of like hunched over. It looked at me. I looked at it, and when it seen me, it walked off into the woods. Did like that. Just walked off into the woods, and at that point, I was just scared. Didn't know anything about it. Took off through the horse pasture, and that was the last I ever seen anything.
Was you able to, how much of the body, was you able to see the full body length when it walked off?
Once I seen the top half, it was just running through my mind, what is that? I figured somebody had dressed up as something trying to play a prank, but there was nobody over here, so I didn't know. And but yeah, I seen from the waist up, once he passed the car, I seen his legs, and at that point, as soon as I seen him move, I just took off running. It just scared me. So.
I know you were scared, but was you able to tell what color it was?
It was darker brown.
How tall do you think it was?
That car was about 4.5 feet up, so about 8.5 feet.
About 8
feet, somewhere around there. On the side, I guess.
Could you tell if it was a male or female?
I just seen something really hairy. I couldn't tell.
Was the hair really long in parts of it?
All I could really see was just that object. Couldn't really see how long the hair was or anything. It was fully haired. I don't know if it was long or not.
Was you able to see the face of it?
The face, from 500 feet, I couldn't really see the face,
Yeah.
but I could see when it looked at me, but I couldn't really see the details in its face or anything like that.
Did it remind you of like a Neanderthal or orangutan face, or you couldn't tell too far away to be able to see any type of features like that?
It was just all hair, just hair. That's all I seen was hair. I mean, if it was any kind of bear or monkey, I would have known what it was. But like I said, my first thought was somebody playing a prank,
Right.
dressed up in a suit. But other than that, knowing that there was nobody else out here, didn't know. And it wasn't a bear. If it can walk from where that truck is all the way to the woods right there, seen it walk about halfway to the woods when I took off running. So that's about 30 feet to the woods. If it can stand on 2 feet, it was just standing there when I was walking down the driveway.
Right.
I don't know what it was doing. We came down here, we didn't see tracks that day. I didn't see any tracks, but it's also gravel. I don't know.
Have you ever had any other encounters or seen anything?
Never seen anything like it again.
Okay. Well, Austin, we really appreciate you
No problem.
telling your story and what happened, and pretty amazing story. And we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and we'll head out after the recorders, and we'll see what we find. Okay, thank you a lot. Right here is the pen where the bull broke out of. Most of it is made out of pallets. And then we have some regular fencing right here. And about right here is where the bull broke out of. And he hasn't seen it since. We've traveled about 500 yards behind the house. And we're here to pick up the first drop box. It was placed up on top of a ridge. And we'll see what we get out of it.
We just found this interesting. We found an arch. It's got these two sticks kind of holding it down, and it appears to be tucked underneath this downfall here. It's still green, so it don't appear that the downfall pinned it down, but that's always a possibility. But we just thought it was curious enough to take a look at and get on film. Thank you very much. Elvis has left the building. Did you get it where it was underneath that? The trouble is there's so much stuff in here. I mean, it looks like a juvenile's been running around through here making stuff everywhere.
Well, it's definitely pinned down. And then you got more over here just laying.
Yeah.
Just kind of odd.
It is odd.
We're about 75 yards into the woods. As you can see, we got an X right here. We have seen bows. It's just full of stuff.
Except the Bigfoot. Oh, I didn't mean to get that on there. You can edit that out.
Picking up the second recorder. This is on the access road that they use to do test drilling. At the end of the road. It's about 50 yards from where we found the possible print. Whenever we set out the recorders. We have found hair along this fence line, and we don't know enough about it to say what it is, and we're not going to assume what it is. But we do know that the man that owns this property, he has black Angus cows. The hair that we are finding along this fence is where the wood line comes up close to the fence, and they can shoot straight across to this wood line over here, or this one behind the camera. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this sample. We're going to use gloves. We're not going to touch the hair. The hair, I don't know, it's probably 6 inches long. You see more red in it than you do anything else. So we're going to go ahead and take the hair. I'm going to get a close-up of this hair on this fence. And it's all along this fence. Wherever the woods come up close to the fence, we're finding this hair right here. And the strands are about that long. They're red. Some of them has a little bit of white in it, but I just do not think that it's Black Angus cows. It's definitely not deer. So, but we're going to pull it. We don't know nothing about it. If anybody out there knows a little bit about it and would like a sample of it, and we would be more than happy if that's somebody's expertise, and we'll send you a sample of it. But we're going to go ahead and we're not going to touch the hair, and we're going to go down this fence line and pull this hair. You can see the hair right there on the barbed wire. It's just like something went over it and got a little catch on it and left some hair. Okay, we're going to get this hair off. It's about that long. Just going to roll it up where it won't come out. We're going to put it in a freezer bag. And we're going to move on down the road. This hair is all over this fence, everywhere. Where the woods come up, and it just looks like good. This hair here, it has a lot of black in it, and it has a lot of red in it. And I'm going to try to zoom in so that you can get a good look at it. And we're going to take that sample too. Like I said, if there is anybody out there that might be able to identify this hair, we here at Beast would be more than happy to send you a sample of it. And we just don't know what it is. The man has Black Angus cows in here, and I just don't see a cow coming that close in here. But you can see how long this hair is. This is right up against the road where something would want to cross. All right, we're gonna, this right here is a good sample. It's a wad of hair. It's black. Man, that's coarse. Well, I have picked 4 samples off this fence. I could have sat here all day long and gotten hair samples off this fence. They're all about this long. They're black. They're very coarse. They're red. You even see a little bit of blonde or maybe light camel color, but they're all about this long. And we didn't touch them, taking them out. So if, like I said, if there's anybody out there that has a microscope and knows a little bit about identifying animal hair, then you can just let me know, get in touch with me, and I'll send you a sample. Beast is optimistic about the Titanium Swamp project. The evidence we have found in the swamp has been on our own, and we have not been led around. Our first recon, we hiked 5.2 miles, and Beast is excited to have this new research area and appreciate the different landowners for the privilege of allowing our boots to be on the ground. The vocalizations and knocks we captured were distant, so we have scheduled another outing to place the drop boxes in a different area that we feel will be more fruitful. A theory we have is that the travel patterns have changed due to the tender foliage and we want to get some baseline data for this time of the year before the heat of the summer starts to sour the plant life. Beast will publish part 3 of Titanium Swamp after the recorders are deployed, picked up, and analyzed. The beast featured in this video is a founding member, Larry Porch II, better known to us as Thumper. Larry grew up in a small West Tennessee town and spent his youth helping his father on their cattle farm. In high school, he excelled in basketball, where he still to this day holds some records, and was named to the All-State first team in his senior year. Larry is a family man and has been married for 26 years and has a 19-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. In Larry's own words, of his highest accolade is that he and his family are Christians. Larry spends a lot of time in the outdoors, hunting, fishing, chasing boogers, and his tracking skills, along with his bushcraft, is a blessing to Beast. A few attributes of Thumper's character is his willingness to absorb knowledge from others, share with those willing to learn, and most of all, he keeps chick feed and sawdust from going 411 in the woods.
Bigfoot.